Hi booktube, Aaron here, hope you're doing okay. Today I'm going to do the rock and roll tag. This was created by Alan from Big Hard Books and Classics, and Alan was kind enough to tag me when he made it. And it's all about rock and roll. Let's get into it. So the first prompt is name your favourite book with rock music in it. And this was actually one of the ones I found the hardest, because there weren't many books, at least I've read in recent years, that I could remember with rock music having a very prominent sort of place in the book. So the only one I could really think of was Girl in a Band by Kim Gordon, which is a memoir about pretty much her life up until the years just following Sonic Youth breaking up. So it's all about her early life and art college and then Sonic Youth, and it's really great, and it's one of those. I haven't read many writers or many musicians writing about music, but I think the way that that Kim Gordon writes about that kind of sort of trance-like state that musicians can kind of get into when they're in a room together and noise is just kind of swirling around. She captures that really well. There's a bit of sort of Sonic Youth in the moment, and yeah, they're a band I really love as well. So that's the only one I could really think of. Number 2, name a rock drummer who deserves more credit. I thought I'd go with Glenn Cocchi. It might be a bit of a cheat. He does play in a sort of rock band, sort of indie rock. So he plays for Wilco. And I think he's like a classically trained percussionist or maybe a jazz drummer. So he's not come into rock music maybe in the direction that most rock drummers would. But I think his drumming is just really solid, and it's all about sort of nuance and the way he prepares his drum kits and just the sounds he can get out of it. Even though he is really technical and like a stunning drummer as well. So there's kind of two sides to his drumming that I really love. Number 3, name a rock guitarist who deserves more credit. I thought I'd go with Mike Campbell from Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, because I think he came across, at least to me, it seems like he came across as quite a shy, restrained guitarist for most of his career, but he just manages to add something to the songs in just like little licks and motifs in the songs that just make them. And I think the guitars always sound just right for the song as well when he's playing. But he can he can shred as well if he wants to, which is pretty cool. So I'll go with Mike Campbell. And I got to see Mike Campbell shred with the Heartbreakers before Tom Petty died, so that was pretty cool. Number 4, what is your favourite song? This is one of those questions that I never know how to answer. I always fall back on Brown Eyed Girl because that was my favourite song as a kid when I was growing up. I'm a big Radiohead fan, so certainly Airbag at the moment is a song of theirs I keep going back to, and Everything in Its Right Place and True Love Waits, and there's just tons of great Radiohead songs that either just for the palette of the sounds or for the lyrics or for both I keep coming back to, and they mean a lot. Number 5, what's your favourite heavy metal band? This was pretty hard because I don't really listen to a lot of heavy metal, and sort of the heaviest that my sort of music taste gets is I suppose sort of grunge and alt rock, and for me sort of the heaviest sort of area of that would be like Soundgarden or Smashing Pumpkins. I also like Queens of the Stone Age, who can be pretty heavy sometimes as well. But I think out of those 3, my favourite would be Soundgarden. And there is like a song like trying to think, just like an album like Bad Motorfinger that has just this really irresistible, slow kind of heaviness to it. Yeah, that's a really, really cool album. Number 6, what is your favourite rock song that gets you going? I'll go with White Room by Cream. It's probably got my favourite of Eric Clapton's sort of guitar soloing there, and it's just an epic song. Number 7, what was your first concert and what was the year? I can't really remember my first concert. I was being dragged out to concerts of um, all shapes and sizes. So I can't remember for sure. One of the earlier ones that I can remember going to, where I was actually excited to see them as a teenager, whereas like a big gig was Smashing Pumpkins in Manchester in I think about 2012. But I'd certainly seen quite a few gigs before then. Number 8, your favourite underrated singer-songwriter. And for this, I thought I'd go with Andrew Bird, partly because when I think of singer-songwriters, I always think of like guitar or piano. And although I think Andrew Bird can play guitar and piano, his sort of main instrument is violin. And he's also a really good whistler as well. There's loads of whistling on his albums. But he's just a great, quirky songwriter, really gifted musician, and his albums have a really wonderful warmth to them as well. But he crafts songs in a very, I think, in quite a different way. There's something quite unique to his approach. And I think he's got a relatively recent album called My Finest Work Yet, which I think is his finest work yet. So that's definitely worth a listen. Number 9, favourite new to you song, and that would be Bending Hectic, which is by The Smile. So that's a Radiohead sort of side project, and this song is like a really trippy 8-minute long kind of epic, but it's really, really good. So that's what I've been listening to a lot. So that's number 9, and then number 10 is tag some peeps, and I haven't prepared, so I haven't prepared who to tag. The only name coming to my head at the moment is I wanted to tag David Wiley because I tagged him in the last tag I did, the curio tag, but he doesn't have any curios on his bookshelf, so he can't do the curio tag. So David, if you prefer to do this instead, please feel free to, but then I'll leave it open as well. So if you'd like to do this, then yeah, feel free to give it a go. And there we go, that's the rock and roll tag. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, and until next time, yeah, see you soon.